And again, here in Cataloochee in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, I am now near the edge of the park. In fact, just a little bit east of Mount Sterling Gap. So a little bit further, and we'll be outside the park. But I am just east of the gap here on the old road, what was even 150 years ago, the Cataloochee Turnpike. And this spot apparently is known as Wells Hollow. Now, there's nothing out of the ordinary about it. It's just a spot in the road. As I turn the camera around, you can see the gravel road there and the hollow on down below. It was apparently here, according to a newspaper article published by John Preston Arthur in 1904, after he had interviewed Daniel Cook and John Jackson Hanna. He tells that Manson Wells from Buncombe County and a man by the name of Lewis Williams had been involved in raids somewhere in the area, perhaps in the valley. And some of Teague's scouts, a Confederate unit, got word of their presence here, and they made their way up the state road and lay in ambush, waited for those two men to come, and they waylaid them. They shot Manson Wells through the head. Williams managed to escape. He got down through this hollow and into a balsam thicket and got away from them. They left Manson Wells' remains here beside the road, beside a log. And no one did anything with them for a long time. The skeletal remains were clearly visible to everyone who passed by. It was a frightening sight, but curiously, no one did a thing until after the war, when the German, John Mull, whom the Love family had gotten to come into the valley before the war to get a grist mill started on what is now Palmer Creek. Actually, he started it down below in a spot called the Mull Meadows, but that's another story. John Mull, a German and a Christian, made a little coffin and drove over here, horse and wagon, gathered up what skeletal remains were left of Manson Wells and put them in that coffin and carried them across Mount Sterling Gap and buried them there in the Sutton Cemetery. There was a much more famous tragedy that occurred on further around this road, and I'm going to head around there and tell you about that now, Lord willing.